Hello. Oh, and welcome to yet another review. I am suddenly starting to do this again, mostly just because I have been wanting to start reviewing stuff again for a while now. And now that I'm taking it out of just a short space, because I am going to review not a hat that I've mentioned multiple times, I believe, but instead this here pair of boots. This is the Tecovas cartwright. It is a round toe offering from Tecovas. And this specifically is in size 10D with their hazelnut color. It is a corrected grain calf skin for the upper. The shaft is about 12 inches. The heel is 1.5. It has a leather outsole, and it has a non-removable foam insole. Going a bit more into detail, it has a Gemmin construction welt, which means instead of the welt, which is part of how the outsole is actually kept in place on boots like this and other higher-end boots, instead of it being sewn into the leather footboard that the rest of the boot is built around, basically, it is instead sewn to a piece of canvas that is then glued into place in the midsole region between the out and insole, which is both a cheaper and less durable way of constructing it, which you'll find a lot of cowboy boots on, again, the cheaper end. And so your Abilenes and Danposts and Tecovas, because you'll find a Gemmin construction instead of a channeled welt. Now, going to this here still that I've stolen from a video from the Chizo's YouTube channel, where they cut in half 3 different boots, I'm going to then point to the heel area over here, as the heel counter is a Celastic heel counter. It's a thermoplastic. It's alright. It is nothing to really take home. I mean, it's not really anything too much to talk about with this. It's something you'll see on a lot of different cowboy boots. And something to keep in mind is that with age, it will become more and more brittle, and it will eventually break. So you'll have to get a new one to replace it. Then, pointing down here to the shank area, the shank is essentially just there to keep the arch in place, so you want a nice piece of metal or other material to keep it in place. It doesn't really matter what material, unless if you're using it for work, which then would be why you want a nice piece of metal. Here, it is a piece of soup can metal with resin on the end, of which Will Roman actually takes out of the boot and bends out of and into place in this video that I've stolen the still from. I highly recommend you watch the video itself. And then, going over here to the heel itself, well, if you can see that it is made of actual leather, which is honestly a nice thing. For this price, I wouldn't have actually expected that. I would have expected it to be leather board. Though maybe I'm mistaken, and in fact, that is leather board. And going back to the shank area and getting out of the still, if you can see, they use both lemonwood pegs and brass nails on this boot. Now, they have their own advantages and disadvantages, but the simple point of them is that the wood pegs wear down at the same rate as the leather, and expand and contract when the leather gets wet. So they're less likely to fall out, and they're likely not going to stick out and destroy your stirrups if you were to actually wear these on horseback. But the brass nails, they don't wear down at the same rate. They actually take a lot longer to wear down. But because of that, well, not just because of that, but because of all sorts of other different fucking reasons with this, yes, you would not want to wear these on horseback because they will chew up the stirrups. And now, to the final point that I want, well, one of the last 2 points I want to make about this boot. That foam insole that I mentioned before, it is non-removable, as I mentioned, and because of that, it will eventually go flat, and you can't do anything about that unless if you go in and fucking scrape it out and try and, like, actually, and, like, hope that you don't fucking destroy the inside of the boot. Or, find a cobbler near you, go and have them go through the whole of the outside of the boot, the whole of the midsole of the boot, get the upper dislodged from the leather footbed, and then, because I think the leather footbed is actually glued to the foam insole, get them to make a new leather footbed to actually put in place of it, and then connect it all back, put in the cork and shank and all that, and then it's just so much work that doing that would probably total the boot, just because you flattened the goddamn insole 5 months after buying the boot. And yes, that's what happened to me. I wore these for 5 months straight after getting them. And I went and well, pretty much just walked around a lot, did some light jogging from place to place when I was running low on time to get between classes and all that. Standing for hours, in engineering, and carrying heavy stuff. It was the carrying heavy stuff that actually ended up flattening it permanently. Because we had to move out a bunch of furniture from our house for renovation reasons. And these boots, I wore them for that. No, and because of that, they went flat, hard as a rock, and I could not wear them without destroying my feet. And so I was forced to buy a new pair after that, because these ones just cannot be worn anymore until I get someone to, like, clean out the foam and put in a new actual insole that isn't a piece of foam. And just from that, you might think, oh, okay, so this is an office boot then, and just don't wear it to some actual labor job. But then you have the price. The price of these is about $345. For that price, you can get several pairs of Abilene boots. You can get 2 pairs of normal Dan Post boots. You can get a pair of Ariat Benchmade boots. And you can possibly even you can even get a pair of Dan Post exotic boots for that price. Not all of those at once. You can get one of those options. The Abilene boots, they're about $100 each with what I remember seeing. So you can get 3 pairs for that money. Dan Post is about half the cost of this for one of their pairs of normal cowboy boots. So you can get 2 of them. Ariat Benchmade, you get a handcrafted boot with, I believe, a channeled welt. Well, so it's actually sewn into the leather footboard. Or do you get better materials with shrunken bison skin instead of calf skin? You get a nice thick slab of leather for the outsole. Honestly, just to put it simply, you get about exactly half halfway to a Chisos boot with $300 for an Ariat Benchmade. And because of that, it clearly shoots these out of the water, or to the point of not deserving to be bought. And that's ignoring the fact that all of their boots, it's the ones I've mentioned, except for maybe Abilene, they're the ones I know the least about out of the ones I've mentioned, all of them have removable insoles. So if they do go flat, you can replace them without buying someone fucking day to go entirely through this, make a new insole, and fucking replace everything for like $300 fucking dollars. All the while, getting a boot that you can actually work in with the Ariat Benchmade, or for multiple office boots, or one nice-looking pair of exotic boots for that price. And because of that, there is no good reason that I can give for getting these. It's not the price, not the construction, not even the experience. The look is good, don't get me wrong, but they are not worth the price for what you can get otherwise. And because of that, I cannot recommend these at all. In fact, what I can do is do the opposite of recommending them. I can tell you, nay, I can fucking beg you to not buy these. I don't know if there's even something good I can say about Tecovas boots other than the look. And even then, looks aren't as important as the function. Sure, you can have a nice-looking piece of dog shit, but at the end of the day, it's a piece of dog shit. And it doesn't matter that it looks good. Or, you could have a beat-up looking guitar that's actually good. And although it might look like dog shit, it's actually one of the best things you've ever purchased. This is the nice-looking piece of dog shit. And I would not ever recommend these boots. But thankfully for me, I did buy one, so this actually is a good chance to test out local cobblers. Here's for me. And that's the only good thing I can really say. And that is about all I have to offer for this opinion. I hope this was helpful in some way, and I hope this wasn't just the ramblings of a madman. I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, comment, hell, dislike if you didn't like it. And any feedback's better than no feedback. And, yeah, see ya.